Okay guys, today we're going to talk about coaching skills. There's three main components to a good coach. It would be identification, programming and execution, and follow-up and rewards. First off, we're talking about identification.
Not this kind of identification.
There's three main points to that. You need to identify what their high-reaching goals are, their end result, what they're looking at that they want to achieve. Their milestone goals, those would be the goals that are going to get them there, the smaller stepping stones. And lastly, you need to identify what their strengths and weaknesses are. I like to call this the baseline. You have to know what you're working with before you can move on from that point. So here's what we're going to do first. We're going to work on the bar muscle level. 2 to 4 reps. You've been working on that. Has everybody been working on that a little bit or no? Not at all. Okay, the second part of coaching skills would be programming and execution. This is where the work phase comes in. But the most important thing before you start that is expectations. It's very important for your client to know what it is you expect of them. It's also very, very important for you to know what your client is expecting from you, so that you're on the same page. They might have expectations that you don't even understand or know, and then they're very dissatisfied because it's something that you could have easily given them had you known that was one of their expectations. Secondly would be time framing. Time framing is really important. You need to know what they are looking at as far as time, so that would go with expectation. Also, to give them your professional opinion on how long this is going to take to reach any specific goal, whether it be the high-reaching goal or the milestone goal, a reasonable time frame that this can be accomplished. The next thing would be specified exercises and a daily plan. It's very important for your client to know exactly what they should be doing on a daily basis, whether it's in the gym or outside of the gym. It's a lifestyle change that they're trying to make. Or it might be an adjustment in the workplace that they're trying to make. They need to know what skill sets and what activities they should do to increase and meet their goals. Part of that is going to be their needs and their requirements. There's things that they're going to need to achieve any specific goal, and that is going to require skills. The second part of that is requirements. Requirements are those things that are going to come from the outside assistance to help them develop and obtain the goal that they're looking for. So outside. Does that make sense so far? Good. It's going to make it easy. We just going to do a class kind of like what just happened. So he's going to do a chest to bar right there. Watch.
Watch out why my knees go.
Okay. So you see that his knees come up and his chest comes to the bar. Okay. Now it's the second half. Can you just do the second half? Okay. So his knees come to the bar and you're almost doing like a fight. Right? You're rolling over the bar and then you're just flipping up on top. And then it's a dip. So you can also try it with the band. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
You are.
Thanks, Bree. Thank you. Yeah. So you can try it with the band. If you're still working on pull-ups, this is a good time to work on the kick of the pull-ups. So if you're still working on that, then we can work on that as well. That's an option. Okay? You decide, think about it. All right, and the last part of programming and execution would be to establish accountability. Not only are you accountable to your client needs to be accountable to you, so that you check in with them, you make sure that they're on track. If they've fallen off or their skill set has increased and you need to give them more adjustments for that, that's where this accountability comes in. They need to be able to come to you and you need to go to them as well. So the last thing we're going to talk about is follow-up and rewards. Not this kind of reward. What types of things can you think of that would be a great reward for one of your clients?
So I know that they're doing a good job, or that I know that I'm doing a good job?
Both! Because their response to you is
results.
Right, so results, good. So results. So we have to have some sort of measurement. We need to be able to measure our progress. The next thing that we're going to talk about is providing additional skill sets. Okay, so skill sets, very important to add skill sets as you go, but not overwhelm them with too many at the beginning. That gets very confusing and too hard to change too many things at one time. And once I say 3, 2, 1, go, then you're responsible for your time. So you're going to have rest minutes that you've got to keep track of. You just tell me when you're done, okay? So you're going to start out, you're going to do 4 rounds of 10 deadlifts and 15 toes to bar. Okay, so who's not a toes to bar person? So we can do knees. So you can do knees to elbows,
Okay.
or you can just do a knee lift. Okay? If you don't do toes to bar. Okay? Yeah? Question?
Nope.
Okay. So regular follow-up is really important, and it's not only coach to client, it's client to coach. So when I give a client a certain workout, then I'm going to want to follow up. I want them to follow up with me so that I know how that went. So the last thing that we'll add here is going to be acknowledgments. I think it's really important to acknowledge and to identify the things that your client is doing well and encourage them in that way. Everyone likes to hear a good word. What would be a great example of an acknowledgement?
You look smoking hot in those jeans.
Okay, that's a great one. That would be a great acknowledgement. Very good. Your form looks really good. So you're identifying and letting them know they're doing a good job. So any of those things you can pick out to give your client some encouragement. So really quick, let's just recap. The first thing that we talked about was identification, identifying their goals, and setting milestone goals so that they can achieve something as they go and they feel like they're moving in the direction that they want to be and end up. Programming and execution. So we want to make sure that the expectations are clear both for the client and the coach. Time framing, that you set up a reasonable time that this is going to take. Specify an exercise and a daily plan. So follow up with those rewards, measuring results, and acknowledging your client. Very important for coaching skills. 3, 2, 1. The important part. This is very important. So very important. The most important thing. Very important. Very, very important.
My heart is my weakness.